Alright guys, so we are doing an unboxing on the Crane M2. This is a 3-axle gimbal for your camera, or you can use it for a smartphone or even an actual camera such as the DJI Action, or you could use it for the GoPro Heroes. So this is a very nice affordable gimbal. It's more for your smaller type of cameras or your smartphones. It is kind of similar to the DJI Pocket, where it has your stabilizer. So pretty much we're just gonna jump into it and get to the unboxing. And here you are, and it comes in this nice protective case. Here you go, you have the nice little foam case. And when you pretty much open it up, it comes with right here on your right side, you have a micro USB-C. Over here to your left side, we're gonna have, it's gonna be the actual thing that places the camera onto the gimbal itself. You have two ports. The smaller port is for pretty much your smartphones or your smart action cameras, and for the bigger one is mainly for your cameras. So putting that to the, so over here you have the adapter for your smartphones. Pretty much it opens up like so, and it screws on right there on the bottom, and that's it. Over here you have a arm strap, pretty much to wrap it around your arm, so it's in case you drop it or something. That's very nice. And what's really neat about this one is too, it comes with a tripod mount, so you could also use this as a tripod, which is very good. And this is your screw that you have as well, which you're going to be screwing onto your camera or your smartphone or your action cameras as well, so it's very nice. And here you have the actual gimbal itself. It's pretty hefty in the hand. It's a really good solid weight to it. Alright guys, so on the front of the gimbal itself, you have a display which shows you what mode you're in, and you can also see your menu selector as well. On the front you have your joystick to tilt it up or down. If you have a compatible device that could connect to Wi-Fi, such as a smartphone or even some cameras, this is your record button right there. And you also have an M for your modes, which you have for this gimbal. On the right side you have your power button, and you have your menu button as well. You would tilt this to your other side, you have your wide and your telescopic for your zoomings. You also have your micro USB-C connected to charge your gimbal, and you also have an external screw, so you could screw in a external display, or you could screw in a external microphone as well. And on the back you pretty much have your lock switch. This pretty much locks the gimbal. Pretty much if you want to unlock it, it's like that. And mainly this is for, I will say, for traveling. When you want to put it back into the case, it locks it in place so it's not moving around. And you have your trigger on the back. Like I said, if you tap it 3 times, you will go into your vlogging mode. It pretty much does a 180, which is pretty good. And that's pretty much it for all the pretty much buttons and the specs for this gimbal. Alright guys, so first thing you want to do is, when setting this up, we're just going to mount the tripod onto the bottom of our gimbal. So it could be set up very nice, already set up. What you're going to do is you want to get your mounting plate and your screw, and pretty much you just want to align it. I'm using a Sony ZV-1. It's a nice starting camera that I recommend. The gimbal does support up to 720 grams, and this camera I believe is less than 300 grams. So this is a very lightweight starting camera. All right, so you want to get your bracket that comes with your Crane M2, and you want the arrow right here. You want to be facing to your right of you. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to get your camera, and we're using the Sony camera, so you want to use a bigger bracket. So pretty much you just want to do is you want to line it up kind of pretty much centered to it, like so. And after you get it about centered, you want to get your screw, and you just want to kind of screw it in. And make sure that's tight, because you do not want this to be falling off. So pretty much there you go. All right guys, so pretty much how to install your camera on this. You want your back gimbal right here to facing towards you, and your other gimbal to the right, to your right of you. So pretty much this first tab right here, this is to loosen the gimbal, the locking thing, so you can move this up and down. You want to leave it about centered, and we're gonna lock this back into place. Once you have that about centered, you want to get the bottom one and you want to loosen that one up all the way. So you just want to loosen it all the way up till it loosens up. And once you got that done, this middle tab, you're gonna push it and you're gonna slide, you're gonna hold it, and while you sliding your camera from left to right. So and then once you slide it in, you just want to tighten this back up like so, and there you go. Your camera is not gonna come off from there. Now, as you can see, you let go, it's not balanced. You want to balance this so that way your motors don't burn out and you get really good footage and it's not as shaky. So pretty much, as you can see, we need to, if I just hold it like this, it's not balanced, it's too much weight. You want it to be standing straight by itself, but as you can see, it's too much weight and it's tilting too much to the left. So what we need to do is we need to unloosen this pretty much. All right, so pretty much if you still need to move it more to the left, you just need to unhook this little guy right here and move it all the way to your right. So now we could kind of stabilize it all the way now. Like I said, you just guys need to play with it and move what's work with you guys works with your camera. As you can see now, it's too much weight to the right. All right, so I got it perfectly in line now. All right, guys, so pretty much how you want to do is to balance your camera, because you want your camera to be facing like that, pretty much standing up. So as you can see, it has too much weight going to the back of it. So with this camera in specific, it's very lightweight. So for me on this one, if you do have this camera as well, I would say to start it off all the way, moving the back plate all the way to the front. As you can see, even with that, it still has a little bit of weight going to the back of it. So pretty much with that, that's the best way you're gonna get it balanced for this type of camera, for the Sony ZV-1. All right, guys, so pretty much how you turn this on, you're just gonna hold the power button right here on your right side. You can hold it for 3 seconds. And boom, there you go. You have it stabilized now. So as soon as you turn it on, it's gonna be in PF mode, which means pan follow. As you can see, if I pan to the left, it's gonna follow. If I pan to the back, it's gonna follow back. So pretty much wherever you pan, it's gonna follow you. The camera, the gimbal's gonna follow you all the way. All right, so if you hit the M button one more time, it's gonna go to lock mode. So what lock mode is pretty much if you tilt it, you twist to the left, you twist to the right, it's gonna stay, it's not gonna move the gimbal. It's gonna try to stay in place as best as it can. If you click the M one more time, it's gonna go to POV. So pretty much that means it's gonna follow. If you pan up, if you go up, you go down, you go sideways, it's gonna stay in place. If you click the M one more time, it's gonna take you into pan follow mode. And if you hold the trigger, it's gonna go to follow mode. So with that being said, as you can see, it's just following where you're going, where you're recording as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the modes as well. And if you let go of that trigger button, it's gonna go back into pan follow mode. And like I said, guys, if you hit that trigger 3 times, the camera is gonna come facing towards you. It might come a little bit slow, but hey, that's pretty good for not having to twist it. You just click the button 3 times. All right, and then if you click it 3 more times, it goes back facing forward. So guys, so another feature that most people don't know is if you double click the M button, we're gonna go into go mode. So what go mode is pretty much if you're filming in really high action, so you want it like to be really responsive and you really want it to be super quick. As you can see, it's going very quick. Another setting, if you hit the M button as well, double times, it's gonna go into vertical mode, which means it just shoots it straight up. So this is for filming I'm assuming if you want to film anything on top of you. So that's another feature as well for vertical mode. That's pretty much all the settings for the different type of modes you have for this camera. All right, guys, so if you go over here to your right, if you click into mode, it's going to take you into your different section. So right here you have for your motor. Now this depends on how much weight you have on your camera. So low is mainly for your smartphones or your action cameras. You have medium and you also have high. High is for pretty much your really heavy cameras. This camera itself weighs really little, so I'm gonna just leave it in low mode. And the way you could go back, you have your Wi-Fi set. With this camera in specific with the Sony ZV-1, it does have Wi-Fi, so we could connect to that, and that allows you to access your pretty much your telescope and your wide view for your zooming. So after that, you could go down to your history and your joystick and about, and that's pretty much it for the for your mode. And you hit the mode back and you're back into your regular pretty much settings. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for all the settings and the different type of modes you have on this Crane M2. Like I said, you can connect it to Wi-Fi and you can access the zooming, and you can also access the recording button as well that it has on this. And thank you guys so much for watching. And now I'm gonna roll some clips of what the gimbal, of how it looks. Thank you guys.